Guess not.
Well, she's 7 minutes late, so we should start as soon as we have sound or internet or whatever we're waiting for.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ANC 3F's August 2013 meeting. I am Adam Tope, Chairman of ANC 3F. It appears we have a quorum this evening of commissioners. If everyone wants to introduce themselves real quick, we can start with David and go all the way down.
I'm David Florison-Lowell. I'm Commissioner from 3F06. I'm also the Secretary.
Mary Beth Ray, 3F03.
Bob Summerskill, I'm the Treasurer in 3F07.
Manoli Paniotakis, 3F05. Manoli Paniotakis, Commissioner ANC, 3F05.
Great, thank you. We live stream our meetings on the internet at livestream.anc3f.us. So to first start, we have an agenda for this evening. Does anyone have any additions or deletions from the agenda? Manoli?
I want to strike the discussion of possible resolution regarding the neighborhood bikeways. Still considering proposing something, but wanted to wait till there was a regularly scheduled September meeting, and also after further consultations with 3E. I would also want to add one quick item on the responses we received to our questions to the Office of Unified Communications. And if appropriate, a second reading on the bylaws amendment.
It is
regarding
yes.
the grant language.
Okay, that's fine. Does anyone else have additions or deletions? Okay. All in favor of the revised agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. So the first item is commissioner announcements. We'll start with David, work our way around. If you have anything, feel free to make your announcement.
No announcements.
I have 4 announcements, and I have 3 from Sally Gresham. So the 4 announcements from 3F03. Soapstone sewer rehab is a very big issue, and we'll talk about it more in the course of the meeting. But I just wanted to advise my fellow commissioners in the community that several of us, including Commissioner Summerskill, Commissioner Gresham, and I met with DC Water in the field, and we walked Soapstone Valley. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I think we're making a lot of progress on limiting the number of trees that are destroyed and encouraging DC Water to work with other agencies to take steps to limit the erosion in Soapstone Valley. So more on that subject later, but I just wanted to give a quick update on that. The second announcement is that the Van Ness Forest Hills Vision Committee meeting will take place on Friday, September 13th at 9 a.m. at UDC, and the details of that will be on the website. The third announcement is that the Forest Hills Citizens Association will meet on Thursday, September 19th at the Elfins Home on 30th Street, and more information will be on the website on that. The fourth announcement is that the Fine Arts Commission denied the concept for the new house that was proposed at 4664 Broad Branch Road. And if anybody would like additional information on that, please see me. But in short, Broad Branch is, of course, the road that runs along Rock Creek, and the homeowners subdivided their lot and had plans to build a second home on their property, and the Fine Arts Commission determined that it was inappropriate usage of the land because it was not in keeping with the sanctity of the park, basically. Sally Gresham's announcements from 3F04. There are 3. The first is that the Chesapeake Playground meeting we believe will take place September 12th. There's some dispute about when Merch Back to School Night is, but that seems to be the current date. But again, please watch the website for updates on that. Her second announcement is that Park Van Ness, the BF Sol project at 4455 Connecticut Avenue, had some issues come up in their public space hearing, which was attended by Commissioners Perry and Gresham. There were some proposed changes, and BF Sol will attend our September ANC meeting with an update. So there'll be more information on that also on the website. Third and final announcement is that WAMU construction appears to be moving along. They're actually partially occupied already in the offices, and the studio and the landscaping out front should be completed this fall. That's all.
Thanks. Bob, do you have anything?
Nothing, thank you.
Manoli?
I have one on September 10th at 7:30 in this space. We'll be holding a meeting for homeowners, or I guess tenants, but primarily homeowners interested in solar power for their homes. There's a program, a nonprofit in DC called DC Sun that works with homeowners to aggregate their interest in purchasing equipment and negotiating pricing to bring costs down for this installation of solar panels. And we'll post information in different places in the next day or so, so that further details are available. But it's September 10th at 7:30 in this location.
Great, thank you. Next up on the agenda is announcements, open forum from members of the community who have a concern of importance to ANC 3F. So if anyone has anything, feel free to step on up to our microphone there.
My name is Tom Whitley. I'm a resident of ANC 3F. I'm here to report and remind you about the fact, and public too, that there will be a wonderful energy expo on the 7th of September at UDC. Having said that, I'd like to make it clear that we're working, and I hope others will too, to help UDC become a more successful partner with the community. It's having its tough times. We've all seen the construction difficulties they have, and hopefully they'll overcome them. But there's a lot to do, and I see on your agenda you've got an item to do too. So in any event, 7th of September, 10 to 4. Come out, bring your friends. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Barbara Klein. I live at the Connecticut House at Albemarle in Connecticut. And we have a situation in the back of our building with an alleyway that basically right now we're having to merge into Albemarle Street virtually blind. And it's not only affecting us as a driver, but pedestrians and bicyclists are also endangered because of the situation. So I've never worked closely with the ANC, and so I'm looking for some help. What I noticed was that the Brandywine Street, 4600 Connecticut, they already have reflective mirrors, which I think is also part of the issue. And I'm assuming that they already did that for some reason, and I have a feeling there may be some liability here. So we need some kind of assistance and would like to meet with you. And my inclination is to also get Marlene Berlin and DOT involved in the safety assessment, because again, it's also going to affect that new bakery because we're right there. We also have Capital Bike Share right there that just started having all these bicyclists, and it's a real problem. And now with school back in session, it's a dangerous situation, and an accident, I believe, is going to happen sooner or later.
What is your address? Sorry.
I'm sorry?
What is the address?
It's behind 4500 Connecticut, and I would also encourage folks to go back there, take your car, turn into our driveway. There's a little parking lot. You can actually turn around and experience what it's like for us to pull out. Then the other thing is to notice, too, how you don't have sight lines. The other thing is that when you're walking down Albemarle, either way, I actually brought some pictures. When you're walking down Albemarle Street, I want you to, again, experience what it's like as a pedestrian or a bicyclist to be approaching that area and not being totally unaware that there's a very active alleyway there. There are no signs, there's no stripes, there's nothing. And again, you can see fairly clearly, even from just a couple of my pictures here, how different it is on Brandywine Street compared to Albemarle. And Albemarle is a much busier street. So I am here today, again, because I don't quite know how to proceed, but I'm hoping that we can somehow pull something together and then get something on record, because I want people to be safe, and certainly as a driver, I don't want to hit anybody. So thank you.
It sounds, is that mine? That's Cindy or yours?
I've got it now.
Yeah, it is. Pretty certain it is.
Who, mine? Oh, David's.
I think it's David.
Okay, we'll figure we'll figure out something. Is it an apartment building or a condo? Oh, it's an apartment. Okay. Okay. Let us work on that and figure out if we can get DDOT involved or whatnot.
It's the corner of Albemarle,
Next up,
Connecticut?
feel free.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Howard Fox and live at the Van Ness East Apartments, and I just wanted to say a word about this item. It's actually on your agenda about the sewer project, which has evoked a lot of interest at Van Ness East and Van Ness North, where I used to live. There are probably hundreds of units that actually face the park, so literally the view out of people's windows is Soapstone Creek Park. And so obviously the prospect, just as a resident who looks at this view, I'm not happy about the trees and the idea of trees being cut down and a road put in there, and also as someone that walks the park a lot and so forth, so I'm really concerned about it. I was interested to hear about the visit with DC Water, and I would kind of wonder maybe when you get to this agenda item if you could talk about how you envision the process with ANC going forward, because I submitted comments to the Park Service, and I'm interested in the process going forward, and are you also interacting with the Park Service and not just DC Water? So if you could just address those when you get to the agenda item, that would be great.
That's great. And if you would give me your email address, and I can keep you posted.
Sure.
I've been sending out updates to the neighbors who are especially concerned about Soapstone. So just, jot down your name and
sounds
address,
good.
and I'll keep you posted.
And could you say your name again?
Howard Fox, F-O-X.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. Does anyone else have a announcement? Yes.
Well, it's a question.
Sure.
I'm Kate Dell, and I live in Van Ness North,
Okay.
and I'm here about this Soapstone Valley sewer project. I haven't met Karen Perry, and I guess she's my rep, but she's not here tonight. And then there's an advisory committee. Will you be reaching out to the community, to Van Ness North particularly?
The committee actually doesn't exist yet,
No, I
and
see
we're
that
going to
they're
make a
forming it.
motion tonight to
Right.
create one, and that's part of what we want to do, is to communicate with the community and get the community engaged and involved.
Okay. And then another thought I had, coming all the way up here from Van Ness North, is there ever a talk of moving this location, which is lovely, but moving it down Connecticut? Like, when they build that new big building, is any of that going to be open for community meetings? That just seems like a more central location.
We've
Yeah,
talked about WAMU,
I think
actually.
we've talked about the WAMU building next to Calvert Woodley, and when the UDC Student Center is built finally, we'll talk to them and see if we can use a room there. I mean, it's right next to the metro. It makes a little more sense. But until those two projects are done, we're probably not going to move anywhere. But we'll explore it once those are done. I have no problem doing that.
We'll have to see if they can beat the price.
We get this for free.
So if they can pay us to go,
Oh, I see.
we're really in good
Well,
shape.
we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
I don't think that's happening.
Great. Does anyone else have an announcement? Okay. Next item is discussion and possible resolution regarding a special exception to the zoning code to build a rear deck at 3703 Wyndham Place Northwest. So I'll turn it over to Commissioner Lowell.
Yeah, so we were notified by the Office of Zoning about proposed deck. It would move up. The variance is because the maximum law occupancy is 40%. It would move the law occupancy to 43%. I personally don't have any particular issue with this. I wanted to discuss it with the rest of you to see if there was an issue. I've talked to Richard Nero about it, and he said if we don't have an issue, it might be preferable to just send something back saying ANC 3F has reviewed the application and has no comment. So that would be my inclination, but I also wanted to see if any of you have any particular issues.
Is the landowner here?
Not that I'm aware.
Were they aware that there was going to be a hearing tonight?
I don't know. I know that with the correspondence that's sent out, the Office of Zoning encourages the individual applicants to contact their ANC representatives.
He is here now, actually.
Oh, okay.
We're actually discussing your house now. Yeah, so I guess Dave, welcome.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing. Has any neighbor expressed any issue at all? No.
Actually, my next door neighbor is quite happy they may build the same one probably here.
Okay.
So we don't have any issues.
Okay.
Or they're going to be here in a couple months. They're going to be here in a couple months.
Oh, okay.
All right. The Office of Zoning also contacts all the neighbors within 200 feet to let them know that this is happening.
Okay.
I think it's about the zoning. It's not the size of the deck. Since 1929, I think the zoning didn't do anything. Actually, if I'm correct, the property shows less or more than what we have. Something like that. So they're going to correct that. Because from the line of the property to the alley, example, if it's 20 feet, on the record, it shows less than 20 feet, maybe 15 feet, whatever. So they're trying to make that correction.
Okay.
Really not positive, but that's pretty much it, my understanding.
So then the deck is actually a smaller percentage?
The deck is normal size.
But the issue is that it can be 40% and the design is 43%, right? Isn't that the issue?
No. I think we have property line from there. This is the alley. According to records, the property line shows here instead of there. So they're moving back the property line to where it is, the original. That's my understanding.
Okay, I thought we
So
were
there's
here to talk
potential to
about the
make
size
the-
of your deck.
Well, it's for the variance is for the total law occupancy. That right now, I guess the proposed law occupancy, according to the file that was sent, would push it over from 40% to 43.
Oh, okay.
But,
Something
Mhm.
I'm really not positive
mhm.
in what's going on, but the deck size is just normal. But again, the zoning issue,
Mhm.
because it shows, I think less property we have, so that's why it seems like a deck from 40% to 43%. That's
Okay.
what it shows.
So it sounds like either there will be a special exception or the property lines are wrong and they'll fix it and it won't be.
Mhm.
So that's fine. I guess has anyone told you they don't want you building this deck? Okay.
If there's any zoning with
Anyone have questions at all? Do you want to make a motion for
Yeah,
anything?
So I'll make a motion that will respond with the Form 129, just saying the ANC is taking a look at this and has no additional comments, and putting myself in as the individual that will present the paper.
I second that motion.
Okay. Any discussion at all? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Passes unanimously. Thanks. All right, next item on the agenda is formation of an ANC 3F Soapstone Valley Sewer Project Advisory Committee. Commissioner Ray.
Well, we've spoken earlier about Soapstone Valley, and let me just give a very brief overview. Soapstone Valley Park is part of the National Park Service. It's how we, in our neighborhood, access Rock Creek Park. And if anybody in the audience has not walked it, please do so. It's a really beautiful forest with a creek. Unfortunately, there are sewer pipes underneath it. The sewer pipes were mostly built in 1908. They're ceramic, and like much of the aging infrastructure in our country, they need to be updated. DC Water has done a video survey of the pipes that they say suggests that we need to do something in the near term to repair the pipes. Their suggestion is to put a liner inside, L-I-N-E-R, a liner inside the pipes, which is then heated, and it becomes, it's some sort of a resin material, and so what originally goes in is kind of a nylon type liner is heated and then becomes almost like plastic. And I'm sure I'm not describing that in technical detail,
Close
but
enough.
anyway, that's the idea. We, as an ANC, held a public meeting on July 18th to try to understand from DC Water what exactly they were planning to do. And many people in this room attended that meeting. There's a lot of confusion. Tara Morrison of the National Park Service actually did an op-ed in the Northwest Current expressing her concern. At the time she wrote, she expressed concern